with one of the best to ever do it, not just a trainer, but a teacher. We got the great coach James Ali Bashir on the show, and we're going to be talking about the Jarrell Big Baby Miller, Daniel Dubois fight, talk about Fury versus Usyk, as well as Joshua versus Ngannou. So, hey, how you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm doing fine. I feel very, very good, and life goes on.
Life goes on, huh?
Life goes on, no doubt about it.
Wow, I got to know your thoughts. How was it just touching down in Saudi Arabia for the Day of Reckoning? I mean, what was the atmosphere like?
Unique, unique, pleasant. You always feel comfortable and safe there. One of the few places in the world where you feel safe all of the time.
Wow.
Regardless of what type of night or where you at in the country, you feel safe. You always feel at ease. That's a really, really unique thing in the world that we live in now.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wow.
It's beautiful. It was a beautiful trip, a beautiful experience. I'm grateful
Wow.
to have been able to take part in it there. Thanks to Jarrell Miller. I was able to experience that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Well, before I get to that, did you get a chance to talk to Anthony Joshua and any of his camp while you were there?
No, no, I didn't speak to Anthony at all. Which is a rarity. Anthony and I usually crisscross each other throughout our travels in the world. We always meet up somewhere in the world, but not this time.
Oh, okay. All right. So, what was the game plan going into the Jarrell Miller Dubois fight? What was the game plan, and what do you think went wrong during the course of the fight?
The game plan was to beat Daniel Dubois. That didn't work. The game plan was to beat him. But I think that Jarrell Miller hurt himself, and I think that going forward that he'll be a little bit more respectful about the weight that he came in at 338 pounds, and even a heavyweight that's heavy for a heavyweight, even for a guy like Tyson Fury, that's heavy.
Yeah,
To participate in a boxing match.
no doubt.
So Jarrell Miller learned a valuable lesson. He had so much success boxing um, at high weights. To now he's used to doing that there. But going forward, and I said this to Jarrell, I said going forward he's gonna have to pay a little bit more time in sparring and preparation and try to take that weight off because that weight hampered his attempts to win that fight. Not taking anything away from Daniel Dubois, because Daniel Dubois did his job. It's not his fault, and I don't think that the fact that Jarrell Miller was 330 pounds, I don't think that I would use that as an excuse that he didn't win the fight. I think that Daniel Dubois was 101%. He was working on all cylinders. He believed it. He believed in himself. He went out there and he did his job. They banged out, and Jarrell Miller just lost the fight.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the one positive that Jarrell can take from the fight is that it may have gotten stopped, but at least he, as AJ versus Ruiz won, he finished on his feet. I guess he can say, well, hey, you stopped it, but I didn't go down. But um, I was just,
They banged out. It was fighting. It was fighting, and
yeah,
it was remarkable that Jarrell Miller was able um, to stay in that fight because he was totally exhausted after the fourth or fifth round. One of those
really,
rounds, I think it was maybe the fourth or the fifth. I can't remember just which one because I haven't looked back on the fight. I've been so busy that I
oh, okay,
down. I usually sit down and rewatch the fight, and I haven't done that yet.
Oh, I got you.
The fourth or maybe the fifth round, they had a real heavy shootout, the two of them.
Yeah.
And after that round, Terrell Miller was spent. He was spent. He was exhausted, you know.
Wow.
And for him to go, the 5 or 6 more rounds was remarkable. I commend him for that because it was tough for him because he was exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, that's exhausting for, I'm sure, Daniel Dubois, and he wasn't nowhere near around 338, so I can imagine. I noticed after the fight, Daniel Dubois showed you some love after the fight.
Oh, I've never had a problem with Daniel Dubois. In fact, I like Daniel Dubois, and my vibes tells me that Daniel Dubois likes me. We don't have any kind of a problem, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they you know, obviously there were people around that did not like me making the assessment that I made after the fight between him and Alexander Usyk. But I said what I said, and I stand by it because the British way is far different from the American way. In America, when you have a charge that's doing something wrong, that's doing something that's going to hamper him as a professional, then you bring it to the front of the class and you tell him, hey, man, you can't do this. You can't do that. This is what you do to get it right.
Yeah.
It's called constructive criticism. Absolutely. And that's what I did. And, there were those in the Dubois camp that did not like that, you know. And as you know, I apologize. I said, look, I apologize if I offended anybody. It wasn't directed to offend anybody. I was just pointing out what I thought was wrong. You know, so I didn't mean to offend anybody, and I still don't mean to offend anybody.
Right.
But me being the teacher that I am, I'll say that again. Me being the teacher that I am, I'm going to teach. And in order for a student to get it right, you gotta bring it front and center and say, look, this is wrong and this is right.
Right.
You know? And I thought that Daniel Dubois in the Usyk fight, I think that he got pissed off. I think he was angry. I think he was emotional. You know, sort of like, give me my marbles, I'm going home. I don't want to play no more.
Right.
I think because he wasn't tired. And I don't think that he was hurt when he went down. I just think he was just fed up.
Yeah. That
they didn't give him the call on the body punch.
That's what I thought as well.
I didn't take the punch. Usyk took the punch. I didn't take the punch, so I don't know what the punch hurt.
Right.
But I do know that it wasn't a low blow. It wasn't low.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You know. Again, I go back to Andre Ward versus Kovalev.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
It was the same kind of shot. But, they said that it was a low blow.
Yeah.
My thinking is that there was some big mistakes that was made in that fight because the referee, Usyk, said that he was ready to continue. And the referee said, no, take another minute.
Yeah, what was that about?
That's not the referee's job to tell the fighter to take another minute. The fighter said that he's ready to go, then the fight should continue. But the referee told him, said, hold up, wait a minute, take another minute. That's not his job. And if the low blow was so bad, why didn't they ever take a point? They never took a point from Daniel. They didn't take a point.
No, they sure didn't. That's a good point. What's up to Mr. Maverick? I appreciate you watching. But yeah, they didn't take a point from Daniel, so it's like there's been a lot of shady refereeing going on lately, like with Tony Weeks stopping a fight early and talking about
and make light of the fact that the referee never turned and said, okay, Daniel, you hit the man low, we're going to take a point. He never took a point from Daniel Dubois.
No.
So, and then he says, okay, no, take another minute. That's not his job.
It's not.
That's not his job. If I were the lead trainer, I would have just made do it. I say, hey man, you can't do that. That's an infraction of the rules. That's not your job. Your job is to ref the fight, not to tell the fighter when the fighter turned to the referee and said, okay, I'm ready to go. The referee said, no, take another minute. No, that's not your job.
Sure not. No.
So, but again, that comes from experience.
Yeah.
It comes from experience. I mean, Don Charles, this is the second big fighter that he's worked with in his career. So he might have missed it, paying attention to Daniel Dubois. He might have missed the fact that the referee didn't take a point, or the fact that the referee told the Usyk to take another minute. That's not his job.
Right.
That was an infraction. That was an infraction. And then they said, oh, no, we can't give a rematch, but BS.
Yeah.
BS, because you wanted the Usyk Fury fight to happen.
Absolutely. In fact, someone's commenting now. They're saying unified champion privilege, like they're giving Usyk all the privilege in the world in that fight.
Let me tell you something. If the coin had been flipped to the other side and Usyk had landed the same blow on Daniel Dubois, he would have said, hey, man, it was a body punch.
Yeah.
And if Dubois said, no, it was a low blow, they'd say, get out of here. It was a body punch, and we stopped the fight.
Yeah.
It would have counted. It would have counted. And that's what has to stop in boxing. Nobody's saying any talk. You got to stop that kind of stuff because it hurts boxing.
Yeah.
It hurts the sport.
That's very true.
It hurts the sport. I mean, people are wagering on these fights. And you have young men and women throughout the world who are investing themselves in the sport. Least of all, they should be given a fair chance to win.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, but as it stands now, the people who are supposed to win, or people who they think should win, is being pushed to the forefront. Say, okay, this girl won the fight.
Yeah.
Why? Because the powers that be wants them to win the fight, because they didn't want to do anything to interfere with the Fury Usyk fight.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
So you look at this Ngannou and Fury. Ngannou might have questionably won the decision. He should have got the decision.
Yeah, I thought he won.
A lot of people thought he won.
Yeah.
But again, the powers that be said, no, we don't need anything to mess up this fight. So you had two cases. The case with Usyk versus Dubois, and the case of Ngannou versus Fury.
Yeah.
It was the powers that be said, no, we can't let anything get in the way. The problem with boxing is that people won't stand up to the powers that be.
Right.
People, they just say, oh, she got the decision, or that was a bad call. No, it has to be something done. If boxing is to survive, some corrections have to be made.
Yeah, it's like everybody fears the evil empire. Nobody wants to say anything.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's hurting the sport.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've seen such bad stoppages lately. I'm like, are these referees betting on the fights? Like, somebody's got to start checking their cell phones and talking to their family members, because I'm like, some of these fights, you just throw a flurry of punches and they stop it. Like, he didn't even get hit. He just threw a flurry of punches.
Yes. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
People's always complaining about boxing as a fixed sport.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want those kind of innuendos to start or to take root.
Right.
Because then the sport is dead.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point, man. Like, you hate to see these kind of things, especially when it's a fight like on the world stage. Like, hopefully we don't get any of that for Fury Usyk or Joshua Ngannou. So I wanted to ask you, I saw footage recently of Usyk hitting the pads pretty or not the pads, but hitting the heavy bag pretty fast. And I saw the face off where Tyson Fury was saying he's only training about 5 weeks for this fight. And do you think fighters nowadays have too long training camps, or do you think I know Lennox Lewis said his camps were like 7 to 8 weeks. Do you think like people like Joshua are having too long of camps, like 12 weeks and things like that?
You can't say yay, you can't say no. You can't say yay or you can't say nay in a
Mm-hmm.
preparation because different strokes for different folks. You don't know what turns a fighter on
Okay.
or off. Some guys may need 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
My preference is 5 weeks for any camp. 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
5 weeks. If you're living like a boxer, 5 weeks is enough to get ready for any fight. For any
That's
fight that you're gonna have.
that's a good
Whether
point.
it's the world championship or just competitiveness.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. You don't want to train so much to where you get in the ring and you're flat on fight night. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I've seen cases where where a boxer says, "Oh, I was overtrained, or I wasn't trained enough, or this or that." I think that's a psychological BS.
Yeah.
I I think that the book is written on training. You go into a training camp and you take 5 weeks and you slowly get yourself in shape in those 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I had I worked closely with Lennox Lewis and Vladimir Klitschko, and certainly I think that those are two of the better heavyweight champions in the last 100 years.
I agree.
Those guys were two of the best. But
Definitely.
I was used to being around those guys. And those guys put it in. They worked.
Yo,
They worked,
definitely.
and they did it professionally.
Yeah.
Didn't try to build Rome in a day. They put the bricks together to build a house, and when they came in the ring, they were prepared.
Yeah.
Whether they won the bout or they lost, they were prepared.
Yeah.
You can look at 100 interviews and you'll never see either one of those guys saying, "Well, I should have been prepared. I should have prepared. I should have did more to prepare." You'll never hear them say that. They'll never allude to that. They'll just say, "I lost or I won."
Right.
So
Yeah, that may shout out to Game Time Future. I appreciate that, and Sports Prediction 101. I appreciate the love. But yeah, you make a lot of good points, Coach, and like let's say. Oh, I wanted to ask, how's things going with your fighter Vlad Sarenko right now?
Vlad I just left him a couple of hours ago. We're in preparation. We're looking forward to perhaps boxing in Saudi Arabia on March the 8th.
Oh, okay.
We're looking to box there.
Wow. Yeah, that would shout out Denise. Appreciate that. Wow. Yeah, that would be for the Joshua Ngannou card, right?
Yes. No, I think that. No, yeah, yes. Joshua
Wow.
Ngannou card, yes.
Wow.
I think that Vlad Sarenko is a smooth operator. I love working with him because it's not like pulling teeth, and it should not be like pulling teeth.
Right.
I've worked with some top heavyweights over the years, and I won't mention no names. And they were, oh God, it was like, hello?
No, yeah. I hear
Okay,
you.
something happened. I thought the lights came on the phone. I thought something that went down that floor about.
Oh yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
But when you work with professionals, it should not be like pulling teeth from an elephant.
Right.
Work with heavyweights over the years. And oh my God, I have worked with some, and I don't want to mention no names, but they were top flight heavyweights, but they were like I mean, when I went to sleep at night, I just didn't know what was going to happen. Whether it was somebody going to tell me they was in jail,
Oh man.
Or they would stop speeding with a car, or, just crazy thing.
Yeah.
I was in one training camp, and I heard a bullhorn outside, and the police was outside. And then when I went outside to talk to the police said, "Hey, look, a neighbor said that somebody was around here shooting." I said,
wow.
"Shooting?" He said, "Yes, shooting. They were shooting at cans or shooting air or something. They just woke in there." I said, and it should not have to be like that. They were good guys, but they were mischievous. They were doing stuff that they shouldn't have been doing at that age. I said, "Good God, man, what am I dealing with here?" So, I don't want to have to pull teeth. I want to train boxers.
Right.
And then I want to go home to my family. I just don't.
Yeah, you don't need the drama.
No, I don't need the drama, and that's what it was in a lot of cases. But again, like I said, working with Vlasarenko, Vladimir Klitschko, Lennox Lewis, those guys were smooth operators. I like working with them.
Man, that's.
I have another Ukrainian young man, Igor Pleveko, and he's down in New York, and he's a smooth operator, very good guy, good trainer. We trained. Last time Igor and I was together, we was in Ukraine, and we fought in Ukraine. We boxed there and we prepared there. It was nice. It was nice because these guys, Igor Pleveko and Vlasarenko, they're professionals. You don't have to fight with them. And matter of fact, we've never even had an argument because they know their position. They understand their position.
Right.
And they listen. I say something to them, say, "Look, this is what you need to do. Go out there and do it." And they go and they do it. It's never a problem. And it shouldn't be a problem. There should be a trainer and a boxer. And the boxers have got to listen.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, that's what they're there for. I mean, the type of guys you're training right now are the type like Vladimir Klitschko. Once they retire, these are guys that are gonna still train even when they're not getting paid for it because that's who they are. Oh, shout out to my good buddy out there, Sanjaya, aka Topi. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the love. Yeah, thanks for watching, and everybody else in the chat. I appreciate that. We got Coach James Bashir in the building. He's talking about his fighters, Vlad Sarenko. And so, I mean, I know Vlad's like training even probably on his days off sometimes. You probably have to stop him from training sometimes, huh?
He's just a good guy. He's just a good guy. He makes my job easy.
Wow.
He makes my job easy. I go in, I lay the format. This is what we got to do. This is how we got to approach it, and he does it. It's always a smooth ride all the way. I love working with him. Wow,
that's great, man. I hope to see him on this card, man.
When Franco goes in the ring, I don't have to cross my fingers. I know this guy's going to fight.
Right.
This guy's going to fight. Wow. That's why he hasn't lost. Thank God. That he goes out and he does his job.
Man. And he's sparred with the best of them, so he won't be.
He's sparred with everybody. He's been in there. He's been in there with everybody. Joe Joyce, Michael Hunter, Bermain Stavern, Vladimir Klitschko, Alexander Usyk. He's been in there with the best of them.
Oh, wow.
Always shows up. So, yes, I appreciate him. I appreciate him very much.
Wow. Shout out to Vlad Sarenko, man. Keep doing your thing. And you don't spar with the likes of those guys, if you pussyfooting around because you get knocked out. Right. Absolutely.
You got to know what you're doing when you step in the ring with those guys because those are top flight heavyweights. And he sparred Daniel Dubois too.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yes, Vlasarenko has been in with Daniel Dubois. I think we was in Alexander Povetkin's camp up in Russia. And Vlasarenko and Daniel Dubois was in there. And they were young. They were young guys then. They were very young. They had to be 5-6 years ago.
Man.
And they It was in there, and they mixed it up. You know.
So when these guys spar, are they instructed to like kind of go half speed, or sometimes you guys be like,
No,
hey, just go all out?
yeah, no, you don't go all out, but you don't go half speed either. You out there trying to get your shots in and prevent the other guy from getting the shots in. So yeah, it was pretty interesting, him and Daniel Dubois.
Man, I wish I could have seen that.
I would like to see him and Daniel Dubois fight now. If they fought now, it would be a beautiful fight.
Wow, man.
Vlad and Daniel Dubois, I think that would be a very interesting fight.
What is Vlad Serenko's record again right now?
Vlad Serenko's record now is 19-0 with 16 knockouts.
Wow, that's impressive. That's wow.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Wow, I definitely wish him the best.
And we was boxing Michael Hunter in Las Vegas, and we was boxing Joe Joyce in Las Vegas, and Vlad and Joe Joyce, they boxed for 3 days in a row. So it's not like Vlad Serenko doesn't know what it is to be in there with the top guns. He's been in there with those guys, and Joe Joyce was undefeated at the time. He was knocking everything out there,
Yeah. Wow. Oh man. Has Vlad Serenko got in there with Cabe, what's his name? Cabello? You know what I'm talking about? The guy that just beat what's his name? The guy, he was on the undercard at the Day of Reckoning. Cabello.
Yeah. We haven't boxed him yet.
You haven't boxed him yet? Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, I had never seen him before, but he took down the monster that day with a body shot and everything. So I was like, oh, it's a prospect coming up too. I had never seen him fight.
I was observing that fight ringside, and I wasn't shocked.
Yeah,
but I didn't expect the fight to go like that.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't expect the fight to go like that there.
Yeah,
but he made short work of that guy,
Yeah, I said if there were any upsets going to come on that card, it would be that fight. But like you said, I didn't think it was going to go like that. I mean, the other dude seemed like he just gave up. I heard later he said he broke his arm, but I don't know if that's true or what.
No, I think he just broke his ass.
Yeah, he broke his will, huh? Yeah. Yeah, he did.
I think the guy just broke him up. He chipped him off,
Yeah, most definitely, man. Wow. What'd you think of the Joshua Wallin fight?
The Joshua Wallin fight was a fight.
Yeah.
And Wallin lost. It looked like Wallin was nervous.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. Yeah, he looked nervous. Like even in the middle of the ring before, when they face off in the middle of the ring, he looked like he didn't want to be there.
He looked very, very nervous. Like he wasn't sure of himself.
Yeah, I felt this. Wow, that's interesting you say. I said the same thing. Wow. And Joshua looked extra confident. I don't know if because he picked up on it or if it's because they had already sparred and fought before, but Joshua just looked like he knew he was going to take him out. And he just went in there and I think he broke his eye socket, broke his nose. He wasn't playing around.
No, he wouldn't. Joshua wasn't playing around. But I think that out of Wallin, whatever the case, I don't know what it was. He just looked like he wasn't stable in there.
No, he didn't. Didn't look like he was in good shape either. He didn't look very fit.
Well, I don't know what it was, but he didn't look comfortable. That's the main thing. He didn't look comfortable in it.
No, not at all. Yeah, I was like, and all that smack talk he did, I was like, he kept trying to say Joshua had mental problems, and then he goes in there and has a mental collapse, it appeared. So I'm like, wow, man. But, okay, let me ask you this. What did you think of, I predicted that Joseph Parker would beat Deontay Wilder. What did you think of that fight?
I thought that Deontay would get Joseph.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought. I thought that that's why you can never judge one fight or watching another fight.
Good point.
I thought that Joseph Parker looked like he got disinterested in the AJ fight. Like he got disinterested in the Joe Joyce fight.
Yeah.
You know, both fights he looked like he just got disinterested. And he just looked like he got disinterested. But then in the fight, in the Deontay Wilder fight, he showed up. You know.
Yeah.
Of course, he in Andy's league. You know, so that influenced a lot. Andy is a good guy. You know, Andy is a good guy and a studious person when it comes to boxing. So that obviously rubbed off on him, and he did a good job. And Deontay depends on that right hand so much. He looked like he was fanning with the right hand. Like
right.
One time, Joseph got off in one of the rounds and backed Deontay up to the corner, and he was hitting him with overhand rights and stuff. It looked like Deontay Wilder was fanning, taking his right hand, and like he was slapping with the right hand. Like he didn't have the food to stretch it out, throw it straight, so it looked like he was fanning with it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And Joseph won every round.
Yeah, it was a blowout. And then Deontay was doing that hammer fist thing, every time like Joseph would bend his head down, you'd see Deontay do that hammer fist like mixed martial artists. Like, dude, that's not legal, homie.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that, man? Yeah, Andy Lee is he appears like he's gonna be one of the a good upcoming trainer.
Andy Lee is a studious guy. He's been around boxing all of his life, and he knows he's around Emmanuel for a long time.
Yeah,
he's up in the Kronk gym for years together, and you know he knows the sport. He knows boxing.
Yeah. I thought that was very impressive. What do you think though of Parker versus Zhang? Like I could see Parker winning, but I think Zhang might pull it off just because he's big, he's a southpaw, and he's quicker than people think. I kind of edge it towards Zhang a little bit.
It's a tough fight. You know?
Yeah.
Like I said, that I think that the collaboration between Joseph Parker and Andy Lee, I think that's showing up big time inside the boxing ring. And I think that this could be an interesting fight.
Yeah.
This could be an interesting fight, Zhang versus Parker. I think it's a very interesting fight. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. We'll sit down and watch it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to put money on either guy on this one. That's how I can see Parker maybe outworking him. I just don't know if he's going to be able to take that constant pressure from a guy that weighs 280.
But like I said, it boils down to a boxing match. It boils down to a boxing match.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Joseph Parker wants to establish in that fight, that this is a boxing match.
Yeah.
So it's a good fight either way you look at it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And maybe Joseph Parker will have to fight kind of like Usyk will have to fight Fury. I know Fury doesn't punch quite as hard as Zhang, but what do you think that Alexander Usyk has to do to offset the size and the Fury likes to throw a lot of feints, but so Usyk has feints too. What do you think Usyk has to do to win that?
It's no secret. Usyk has to box. He has to box. Boxing 101. That's the order of the day. That's all that he can do.
Yeah.
All that he can do. There's nothing else that he can do.
Yeah.
In my opinion, there's nothing else that Usyk can do. He can't punch with him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hug with him. He got to use his legs, and he's got to box. He's got to try to outpoint this man.
Yeah.
And hopefully he can tire Fury and go for the knockout late. But in all reality, I'm thinking that Usyk has to box, which he's very capable of doing. He's a very disciplined guy. He's a disciplined guy inside that ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, Usyk he's a disciplined guy. And he's going to be moving. He's going to have to move. He can't let Fury lay on top of him, maul him and brawl him and stuff, because now he's going to lose that fight. He's got to keep that action in the center of the ring, got to slip, slide, and spin to the side. All that greasy kid stuff. Just got to keep it going where you can't get trapped up where Fury is laying his weight on.
Yeah.
Because that weight it'll show up in your legs.
Oh, no doubt. That's a fact.
You won't be able to get nothing done if you're not getting your legs. If you ain't got your legs, then it's a sad story for old Usyk.
Oh yeah, Usyk is nothing without his legs. I mean, that's imperative. And the fact Fury kind of gave away his game plan before the Joshua Usyk second fight. Fury said just attack his body. So I think Fury's going to go in there and try to attack Usyk's body, especially after seeing what Daniel Dubois did. I think Fury's going to try to go in there and just work that midsection. That seems to be Usyk's only weak point. Do you think Fury can go to his body without getting countered too much?
Like I said, I worked with Usyk for 3 years, and I learned the man. I understand the man. He's not no walk in the park for anybody.
True.
And when he steps in that ring versus Fury, he'll be prepared in every aspect. I know the man. I know how he is. He's going to prepare. And he's going to come to fight. He's going to try to come to win,
Yeah.
Fury's only chance is to lay that weight on him and maul him and brawl him and try to take those legs away. Because if Fury got those legs, it's going to be an interesting fight.
Yeah, that's
Listen, it's no big science in this fight. You got one huge guy that got some athletic ability. He moves pretty good to be a guy that's 6'9", 260, 70 pounds. He boxes well. He's got a good jab. He's not a big puncher for that weight. These guys are big. They have a lot of weight. But if he's punching something often, he can hurt you because he's so big.
Oh yeah.
But I think that Usyk is smart. He's smart. He's crafty. He's cunning.
Yeah.
And he knows how to apply the do's and don'ts in that brain.
Yeah.
I think if Usyk can somehow win those first 4 rounds, he can win a split decision.
Oh, no doubt.
But he needs to win the first 4 rounds. Whoever wins those first 4 rounds is a cinch to win the fight. Tell him.
Wow.
They're going to be jockeying for position in those first 4 rounds, because whoever wins those first 4 rounds is most likely going to win that fight. Because I feel like to see it, whoever wins the first 4 rounds, you got them in the bank.
Yeah.
So you get 8 more rounds. In that 8 rounds, you're going to win 1, lose 2, win 2, lose 1, but you got the 4 in the bank.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. That first 4 rounds is a monster. To win those first 4 rounds, lock them up, put them in the bank.
Yeah.
All right?
Most definitely. I mean, I'm thinking though too. I'm thinking if Usyk doesn't win it, I think it'll be a draw. I either see Usyk winning or a draw, and I'm like, it's gonna be, man, it's gonna be a battle of the minds, like a violent chess match.
Yeah. like I said, whoever wins those first 4 rounds most likely will win the fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna pick Ted Usyk to win the fight via split decision.
Yeah, that's what I say. I say Usyk split decision or a draw. I don't think Fury is gonna pull it out this time. After watching his performance against Ngannou, and I know a lot of people say he took him lightly, but I don't really think he did take him lightly. I think he just I think once he felt the power of Ngannou, he was like, oh man. But let's fast forward. Who do you like in the Ngannou Anthony Joshua fight?
Like Joshua by inside of 7.
God, I've been saying the same thing. I think he's gonna be too fast and his punch placement be too sharp, and Ngannou's just gonna try to counter all night. And because Ngannou's not the fastest guy.
You know, Anthony Joshua is a big, strong guy himself. So Ngannou is not. It's not like Ngannou is going to be in there and going to be walking in a rose garden. He's
right.
You know, Anthony Joshua is a big, strong, hard punching guy himself.
Absolutely.
So when you come to get some meat, be sure that your meat is not got.
Right.
You know, yeah. Joshua is a strong, hard punching guy, and I think that he's going to be ready for that fight. I think that he's going to come in there and he's going to make Ngannou look like an MMA fighter.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. And now that there's tape on Ngannou, he kind of knows what he's getting himself into. And people keep talking about the size of Ngannou. I'm like, they're not going to look that different next to each other because most of Ngannou's weight is in his legs. So they're not going to look that like one guy's really outweighing the other guy. It's not going to look like a mismatch. So I got Joshua by stoppage too, somewhere around there. Like probably.
I think he stops in the out of 7 rounds.
I do too, yeah, because it's a 10-round fight. Yeah, I do too.
Ngannou, you know, his defense is not superb enough for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua knows that, you know, he wins this fight. He's the one that's going to fight for the undisputed championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Eddie set it up that way.
Right.
You know, put Joshua in with Ngannou, and then by him taking Ngannou out, you know, the rage was going to be, oh man, Anthony Joshua is the guy. He's the guy that fight for the undisputed title. So that's why the avenue was set up like that there.
Yeah.
So Joshua world beater by beating Ngannou, and now bring on the winner of Fury and Usyk.
Yeah, the thing that I don't like, if Fury does happen to get by Usyk, he sounds like he has no interest in fighting Joshua. I'm like, come on, man. You got to at least fight Joshua before you retire, man. He sounds like, oh, there's no need to fight him because if I beat Usyk and Usyk beat him, he's doing the triangle theory. I'm like, man, you have to fight Joshua, man.
Well, we have to see.
Who would you favor in that fight? This version of AJ versus this version of Fury. Who would you pick in that fight?
Well, you know, like I said about Jarrell Miller and Daniel Du Bois, different fights can give a fighter mental and spiritual injection. Daniel has got an injection of enthusiasm from the Jarrell Miller win.
Absolutely.
And now he's looking for bigger and brighter venues because he's ready to fight.
That's a good point.
Du Bois versus Joshua is a hot fight.
Oh yeah, especially since Du Bois allegedly either dropped him or knocked him out in sparring years and years ago.
Well, aside from that, I'm not even making light of that. I'm saying that the styles turns out to be a great contest. I would like to see that.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah.
I'd like to see Joshua versus Du Bois. I think that's a great matchup.
Yeah, I would like to go to that. If they ever sign that fight, I want to make sure I'm at that fight.
That's a contrast of styles makes for an interesting fight.
Right.
And they're good punches, So yeah, I'd like to see that fight.
Yeah,
I
mean,
I think that I'd like to replace the Ngannou fight with Du Bois and put Du Bois in the air. If Ngannou got injured, put Du Bois in there.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah, if Ngannou gets injured, just let Dubois go. Yeah, absolutely.
It makes more sense to me.
Yeah,
to have Bois versus Joshua as opposed to Ngannou.
Yeah,
that's what I'd like to see. That's the contrast I'd like to see.
Yeah, I think they'll eventually cross paths because Joshua has a look in his eyes lately that I haven't seen. Like he looks irritated a lot, and I like that. He looks like he's not smiling coming into the ring like he used to do. I used to hate when he's coming in the ring like smiling, like, man, you going to war. Let's get that blank look on your face or something. Now he's not smiling no more. So I would look forward to Dubois versus Joshua.
He's a big, strong guy, and he can hurt something.
Yeah.
I've been around Joshua a few times in his career, and he's a big, strong, dangerous puncher. If he hits something, he can hurt it very badly.
Yeah, and absolutely.
Boys, big, strong guys that can hurt. They land the punches, they can hurt. That's why I'd like to see the two of them fight.
I think Joshua's speed is a lot better than people give him credit for too. He looked pretty fast, especially in that last fight. I know he didn't have much coming back at him, but I thought he looked pretty fast.
I think that Joshua's a good fighter.
Yeah.
I think that he's better, but he's a good fighter nonetheless.
Right. Wow, man, that's pretty cool. Has Vlad Tsarenko got a chance to spar with AJ?
No.
Okay.
No, I would like for them to spar.
Yeah.
I tried to get him in the camp a couple of times and it fell through.
Okay.
But, and then when AJ called for Vlad had an injury.
Oh wow.
I think if I'm not mistaken, AJ invited Vlad Tsarenko to come to London one time, and Vlad was held up with an injury.
Oh wow, that's too bad.
Yeah, that would have been some great sparring.
Yeah, that Warren Jackson said Daniel Dubois will fight Joe Joyce again. Yeah, I would like to see a rematch with Dubois and Joyce. I thought Dubois was winning that fight until he got that eye injury.
But Dubois was winning the fight.
Yeah.
I thought that he was winning the fight.
Me too.
But I don't criticize him for taking a knee in that fight because it looked like the corner was going to let him get injured more.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem. Yeah, if your eye socket's busted, that could have ended his career.
If you got an injury, you got an injury.
Right.
Did the right thing.
Yeah, I didn't consider that quitting.
To me, it didn't take anything from the stock. I thought that he did the right thing.
Yeah. There's different in being hurt and being injured. And people don't realize that.
Yeah, but easy for people who have never been in the ring or people who's never had the gloves on. It's easy for people to sit back and criticize somebody saying that, that he's a quitter and this and that and this and that. And, I don't put a lot of stock in that kind of talk. In fact, I've never talked like that about any boxer.
Right.
You've got no idea what these boxers go through in preparation, not the fight itself.
Right, the preparation.
But preparing for a fight, they have no idea about what these people are going through.
Yeah.
So you got to show some respect. You got to show some respect because if you don't, you get jammed up.
Yeah, because the training camps, like Mike Tyson said, are harder than the actual fight. You want your training camp to be so hard that the fight is actually not that hard.
Especially Mike Tyson's training camp. I was at Mike Tyson's training camp on 5 or 6 occasions, maybe more than that.
Wow.
And them guys, they was earning that money.
I can imagine.
Shit, I said, man, earning that money. I said, Lord, and the guy had camp. He kept it. He had a style where he was semi like a Ali. He had his hands. Well, I said, hey man, I'm gonna tell the guy. And the guy said, hey man, when you go back out there, you need to keep your hands up. He said, no, I see everything you're doing.
Wow.
He said, I can see everything you're doing. Long before those punches get there, I'm gone. And he was.
Yeah.
He was. He was. He had the kid had real good reflexes. But man, I must have lost 30 pounds in the corner with the punches going past the chin. I was like, Lord God hit my butt. Don't let Mike Tyson hit my guy. I kept praying for him. That he'd make it through, and he did. I mean, might put him down a couple of times with body punches, but he never landed nothing of significance to the head.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Man, Mike threw some body punches. I said, Lord God, this guy,
Yeah, I mean, Mike put his body into when Mike swings, whatever he weighs, he's putting into that punch.
They criticize Mike Tyson, but they're wrong. This guy could fight.
Oh, yeah.
At 5'11", whatever he he could fight, man, and he could punch.
Yeah,
so people criticizing Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson was a beautiful fighter.
Yeah.
He was a throwback to the old time heavyweight. He could punch.
Absolutely.
I
remember Mike Tyson was on a show called UMTV Raps, and there was a host on there named Ed Lover, and they were just playing around, and Mike just barely tapped him in the ribs. And Ed Lover said, man, that hurt so bad, I could hardly speak. Like, he knocked the air out of me, and it looked like Mike barely tapped him. He's like, man, I couldn't even breathe.
And Mike was a heavy-handed guy,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike Tyson could punch, There was a guy in a training camp in those days, and I forget his name. I think he died. He was from Las Vegas. His name was Stanley.
Uh-huh.
And him and Mike, he said, oh my God, I got to find out the guy's name, but it was Stanley. He was a short heavyweight.
Okay.
And him and Mike used to go at it, and I said, Lord, and they be throwing those punches that knock a building down. I said, Lord, man. This guy, they would do that 3 times a week, and they would be in there, and they would be banging. I think this kid Stanley died,
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. But him and Mike would go to war in there. And this is when Tyson was back in the day.
Yeah. I understand Mike and Oliver McCall used to go at it pretty hard. I think Oliver McCall even dropped Mike on one occasion.
Yeah, Oliver McCall used to go at it with everybody.
Yeah, he had a tough chin, man. McCall, man. I never seen him even knocked down.
Mike Tyson, but Oliver McCall would go at it with everybody.
Wow. You
remember the Akinwande fight where Akinwande was beating Oliver McCall. And the people in the corner was imploring Oliver McCall to get close to him, get under his punches and this, and they kept saying, come on, you got to do so. So you're falling behind the fight, and he was falling behind.
Yeah.
And Paul knocked Akinwande out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think in round 10, in the last round, I think he knocked him out.
Yeah. Yeah, he could punch too. And that's the thing. It seems like these fighters that are around 6'2", 6'3", they seem to stop these real tall heavyweights. It's like when they throw their chin is right in line of their punch. I know when Lewis lost to McCall and Hasim Rahman, they were both 6'2". When Joshua lost to Ruiz is 6'2". So it's like something about guys around that height. And isn't Vlad Tsarenko like around 6'3"?
6'4".
6'4", he's 6'4", okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like guys right around that height present these like I was with Tim Witherspoon like what 3 weeks ago, and he's 6'3", and he was showing me a lot of stuff, and he was saying the same thing that you're saying. He's like he has so much knowledge, but nobody calls him. He's like, man, I got so much I could teach these guys, but ain't nobody want to listen.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They don't nobody want to listen.
Yeah.
I shared a lot of Tim Witherspoon camps.
Oh wow, wow.
I was in camp with Tim Witherspoon. I was in camp with Tim Witherspoon 20 times or something in this training camp.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
They know me very well. You know, we shared a lot of camps together.
Yeah, he's a real nice guy, man. He looks like he's in his 30s right now. Like he's telling me all the stuff he drinks, and he's a vegetarian, and he looks in great shape, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim Witherspoon, he lives well, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, he's a real class act, man.
Did he say he was vegetarian?
Say it again.
Did you say he was a vegetarian?
Yeah, he said he's a vegetarian. He was telling me all the stuff he blends, like his juices, like garlic and all these like he's got his own concoction. So yeah, he looks really good, man. Like he's lean, he stands up straight.
I met Tim Witherspoon in the Muhammad Ali training camp.
Oh, okay.
I first met Tim Witherspoon in the Muhammad Ali training camp.
Wow.
Way back when. That's the first time Tim Witherspoon and I met. It's the first time Larry Holmes and I met.
Wow.
In the Muhammad Ali training camp, way back when.
Wow, that's, man. I've watched that fight several times. I thought Tim Witherspoon won that fight against Larry Holmes, but they didn't give it to him.
More than that, yeah, I thought Call the Truth Williams beat Larry Holmes.
Oh yeah.
That was Call the Truth definitely beat Larry.
Yeah, he was a tough guy, man.
Call the Truth Williams should have got the heavyweight championship that night.
Yeah.
He won that fight, and they didn't give it to him.
Yeah, he had a great jab too, and that's what Tim said. He said, one of the best jabs he ever took was either from him, and he said Ray Mercer. He said Ray Mercer had a way better jab than Larry Holmes. He said Larry's jab wasn't really bothering me. He said Mercer's jab was crazy though.
Good jab.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time with Ray Mercer. Me and Ray Mercer was really close.
Wow.
Me and Ray Mercer spent a lot of time together. Me and Al Cole spent a lot of time together.
I remember Al Cole. Yeah.
I was around because I used to be around the trainer of Al Cole and Al Cole and Ray Mercer. I was around their trainer a lot, you know.
Wow. Man, you got to join. They're in something called Circle of Legends. Tyrell Biggs, Ray Mercer, Tim Witherspoon. You should get involved with that. They raise money for fighters and stuff like that, and it's something that's pretty special. They're just kind of getting it off the ground right now.
Tyrell Biggs was special. He could box, man.
Yeah.
You know, he could box. Tyrell Biggs could box, man.
Yeah, he was good.
He was just an enigma for the time that he was in. He was fine for the time that he was in.
Right.
I doubt if a guy that little will ever be heavyweight champ again.
Yeah.
I'm just going to see it. It'll be a heavyweight champ again.
Do you know his brother Xavier Biggs?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, yeah, that's the gym we were at like about 2 to 3 weeks ago.
He was in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, we were at that gym. Yeah.
I was in that gym. I was in that gym in Atlanta. I was staying in Stone Mountain. I was down there looking for a gym years ago, and to go to that Xavier's gym.
Wow. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
No, I remember that gym.
Yeah, I like the atmosphere in there. I just like how everything looks. Oh, I got to meet Hector Camacho Jr.'s son. He
Yeah,
was there.
I know Camacho Jr.
Yeah, he was
We
there. Real nice guy too.
Camacho Jr. shared a camp or two with us when we was in Lennox Lewis camp.
Oh, really?
I don't do it there. I think Emmanuel was training Ricardo Williams from Baltimore, and I think Camacho Jr. was there boxing Ricardo Williams because they're both in the 140 division.
Oh, okay. I got you. Wow.
What a wild dude, man.
Yeah, he could still punch. I was watching him on the heavy bag. I'm like, man, this dude is still strong and fast. I'm like, wow.
No, he was the number one contender in the WBA one time. He never fought for the title. I said, good grace, what happened? I don't know what happened. He was the number one contender in the WBA,
Yeah.
and he never got the title fight.
You think it was politics?
No,
No.
I just think him.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Macho Jr. That's what I think it was.
Okay. I got you. Wow.
That's what I think it was. It was him.
Man, yeah, like if you're ever up here in Atlanta, man, we can all go up to Xavier's gym and just.
I came down. I was down there a few years back. I have a brother that lives in good young brother, lives in Lilburn.
Okay.
And I was staying up in Stone Mountain, and I used to go down to Atlanta sometimes. Stone Mountain is what, about 20 miles from Atlanta, right?
Yeah, it's not that far. Yeah.
I was the hotel I was staying at was in Stone Mountain.
Wow.
In Lilburn, next to Stone Mountain.
Wow. It's a small world, man. Yeah.
5 weeks up in the hotel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I stayed in that hotel for 5 weeks.
Wow.
Because I was trying to find a gym. I was going to open a gym down here.
Oh, man. Yeah, I wish you would open a gym down here, man. Yeah, that would be epic.
There used to be a hotbed for fighters. There don't no fighters come out of there no more.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, Holyfield was from here, and I don't remember. Was Pernell Whitaker from Georgia? Or no.
No, would have continued. Vernon Forrest was from there.
Yeah, Vernon. Yeah, I talked to him before back in the MySpace days. Yeah, he was a cool guy, Vernon Forrest. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys got. I'd like to get a gym down there in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'd like to find a gym, a small gym. I don't want a big gym. I like small gyms.
I do too. Yeah, I don't like these big commercial gyms
that represent the stature of the Kronk gym. The Kronk gym was a small gym, but it produced some good fighters.
Oh, no doubt about that. No doubt. Yeah, this could be what Kronk South.
I think the fighters get lost in those big gyms. They get lost. I think camaraderie. I think you get a small gym. You get a 17 by 17 ring because we ain't coming in to do no track meet.
Right. Right.
17 ring, no more than an 18 by 18.
Wow.
You get 3 different heavy bags to suit the different size fighters that's going to come in. You get two speed bag stations, and a place, a little space where you can do your shadow boxing.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of mirrors and you're good to go.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to open a gym.
Yeah, man. Hey, we welcome you with open arms, man. I don't know if you know, but Tim Witherspoon has a YouTube channel, and he shows some things that Ali showed him in sparring and little quick jabs and stuff like that. How did Tim's sparring sessions go with Ali back then? Were they pretty competitive?
It And it wasn't just Tim. It was Larry Holmes, Tim Witherspoon, and there was a couple other. I think Michael Dose came in.
Oh, Michael Dose. Wow.
Oh man, it was another.
Low.
It was a small. He was. You know, I can't. I gotta call Tim to find out what to say. It was another guy, and he's came from one of those little towns, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, somewhere down there, and he was a tall guy, but he didn't weigh a lot. But he had these big feet, maybe 15 shoes or something.
Oh wow, wow.
But the guy was about 220, 221 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But he could punch, man. I mean, he hit Ali one day, man, and it hurt Ali, you know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he hurt him. The guy could punch. Tim Witherspoon would remember the guy's name.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask him about that because he's got, I'm going to ask him about that. I'm sure he remembers that guy well.
Tim would remember his name because I called Tim one time to ask for his name. Tim would remember. He was a skip. He could punch, man. The guy could crack.
Wow.
He had these big feet, but he could crack. This guy could punch.
Wow.
And Tim certainly will remember his name.
Did that guy ever fight professionally?
Yeah, he was a pro.
Wow.
He got hurt in one of those fights and didn't fight no more.
Oh wow.
But Tim would remember the guy's name.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to link you guys up. There was a guy in the gym, a shorter guy. He was shorter than me, and Tim looked at him. He's like, I know you. He's like, we sparred before, huh? The guy was like, yeah. He was like kind of shy. I think he was African, but Tim was like, I know you. We sparred before, so yeah. He's got a pretty good memory about them times, man.
Yeah. Tim and I we the last time Tim and I were together was at Matthew Saad Muhammad's funeral.
Oh, wow.
You know, that's the last time me and Tim were together, you know.
Man.
Since then, both of us been crisscrossing the globe, you know.
Yeah.
He was in Switzerland. I was in South Africa.
Okay. Yeah, he said he spent a lot of time in the UK with he hung out with Tyson Fury and the dad and the Gypsies, and he said he spent a lot. He said that's like his second home over there. Yeah,
I you know, like I said, if Tim was in London, I was in Dubai.
Dubai.
Yeah,
wow.
He was up in Sweden somewhere. Then I was somewhere in France. You know, we was just crisscrossing each other. We was seeing each other. And we met in the airport. You know, he was going to another country and I was going to another country. You know.
Shoot, man.
It's the world of boxing. You know, I train a lot of fighters in different countries. You know, sometimes for 6 weeks, sometimes for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm going to the next country. You know.
Wow.
I was down in Australia, and what's that right across from Australia? I can't never remember the name of that country.
From Australia?
Right next to Australia.
Oh yeah, I'm bad with maps.
David Tua country.
Oh, you talking about Samoa or New Zealand?
New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah, that's where David Tua's at right now, New Zealand.
I've been to New Zealand 3 times. I was down there, and I took Monty Barrett to New Zealand to fight David Tua.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we fought David Tua in New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
Monty beat him.
He did? Wow. I'm gonna have to go back. I don't even remember them fight. I'm gonna have to pull that up.
We beat David Tua. I had a couple of good fights with Monty Barrett.
Wow.
Monty Barrett was another disciplined guy.
Yeah.
That it wasn't me to get my points across to him. It was never difficult for me to get my points across to Monty Barrett because Monty Barrett was a good guy.
Did he beat Klitschko, the younger
Got to
Vladimir?
stop. Stop. You got to stop up. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was trying. I know that was Lamont Brewster, wasn't it? That
Yeah, Monty Barrett just had a lot of heart. You know,
yeah.
a lot of heart.
Yeah, he wasn't a
And
real big guy, right?
no, he would go into different fights based on that heart, half cocked. You know, and I told him, no, don't take the fight like that. You got to train for fight. But Monty could take the fight because he had so much heart. You know, Monty said, look, I'll take the fight.
Oh yeah.
Lamont Brewster had another one, had a lot of heart.
Yeah.
Bull had the stubbornness. You know, some of those fights they should not have taken, but they had so much heart. They go in and take the fights. You know, so these guys something, man. You know, but
Man.
they get stubborn and bullheaded, and you lose fights like that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
got to prepare
man.
for a fight psychologically and physically. You got to prepare for it. It's got to be on the same street. The psychological effect, the physical effect, they got to be on the same street. Not one on one block and then one on another block, because that's when you lose the fights.
Yeah.
I had Monty Barrett, and you know what? And David Tua broke his jaw.
Oh, broke his jaw.
Broke his jaw with maybe one round. Or maybe in one round he broke the jaw, you know?
Wow.
But Monty's adrenaline was up so high that the broken jaw didn't even. I think the jaw got broken. I think Monty got dropped in the last round, maybe with about 15 seconds, 20 seconds on the clock. He got dropped.
Oh man.
He kept warning Monty all night about David Tua's left hook. That's the punch that he can hurt anybody with.
Yeah, that was his main punch, bread and butter.
You know, watch the left hook. Because at that point when he was fighting Monty, David wasn't as quick as he used to be.
Oh, okay.
Monty could avoid that left hook. But Monty gets bullheaded and stubborn trying to knock Tua out, and Tua hit him with that left hook and dropped him.
Oh man.
I didn't even know he was going to get up. I was screaming to him, get up, get up. You got to fight one, but you need to get up.
Wow.
Counting 2, 3, 4, and I was counting, get up, you got to get up, you got to get up, you got to get up. We're going to lose this fight, get up. And they got up and he stuck it out and went the distance and won the decision.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna try to watch that fight tonight, man.
I'm sure it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And Monty Barrett fight
David Tua.
Nikolai Valuev.
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a wow.
Did you see the fight between Monty Barrett and Nikolai Valuev?
I don't believe I did. No, that's another one I'm gonna have to pull up. I haven't even heard that name in a minute.
He had Nikolai Valuev, you know, and that was a tough fight. But
Man.
again, Monty, you know, Monty in a certain part of the fight, Monty Barrett said, "Look, I'm just gonna fight."
Yeah.
And you can't do that. You got to stick to the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Stick to. But Monty's a tough guy.
Yeah.
Monty Barrett, tough guy, and he gets angry in a fight, he gets emotional in a fight, and he just fights. And I say, hey man, you can't do that. Monty Barrett was in there with Vladimir Klitschko, and he took a beating from Vladimir Klitschko.
Wow. He got stopped. Did Klitschko stop him?
Huh?
Did Klitschko stop Monty Barrett?
And David Hay.
David
Monty,
Hay?
David Hay. You know, but Monty takes the fight half cocked. You know,
Yeah.
He fought this guy, Clifford Kalzer.
Oh, I remember him.
Cliff Kalzer was a Mike Tyson lookalike.
Yeah, I remember him. Yep.
And he get punched like Mike Tyson too.
I think he played Mike Tyson in there was a movie. He played Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he looked a lot like Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was going to camp with Vladimir Klitschko, and they offered Monty Barrett a chance to fight Cliff Kalzer. So I said, Monty, look, I got to go to camp. It's already prearranged. I said, I got to go to camp with Latimer Klitschko. Hold up on the fight. Just wait till I come back. I'll be gone 6 or 7 weeks. But hold up. You don't need this fight right now. Take another fight. But Monty said, oh, they give me 75,000. You know, it's an 8-round fight. I'm getting 75,000. I can take the fight, blah, blah, blah. I think, just wait till we come back, man. But then I'm headed to Germany. And then I'm going to go to Austria from Germany. And I guess when the plane lands in Germany, I'm in Dusseldorf, Germany, and I go on the internet. I say, Cliff Calza knocks out Monty Barrett in 2 rounds.
2 rounds.
Yeah, in round 2. I said, damn.
Wow. 2 rounds.
Cliff Calza could punch, man.
He was actually wasn't he on the undercard of Lewis McCall too? That Clifford dude?
I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't big on Cliff Calza. I didn't like him. He's a crazy dude, man. Nice guy, but crazy.
Yeah,
man.
I was around him. I was around him for maybe even just like 5 minutes. I could tell he was a little different. I could tell.
I said, man, let me get away from this guy, you know?
Yeah.
He was in the limo with his feet up. I said, hey, man, we in the limo and he got his feet all up on the breast and shit. I said, this guy's crazy, man.
I think at one point he started claiming he was Mike Tyson's brother or something. He was saying like I don't know, man. He was different.
In them days, he looked a lot like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he sure did, man.
Comes back to the States, and so you know, Monty comes in and said, all right, where we go from here? I said, where we go from here? We go back to the guy that just knocked you out, man.
Right.
He said, what guy? I said, the guy, Calza, that's the guy that knocked you out. We got to go back. I said, in order for you to try to make a career out of it, you got to go back and fight that same guy.
Yeah.
Monty didn't want to do it. You know, he said, what's the? I said, look, if we trying to sell our image to people, we got to go back and straighten that fat out. He said, okay, I'll take the fight. So took the rematch.
Yeah.
And we trained for about 4 weeks for that, 4 or 5 weeks for that fight. Yeah. Got back in and Monty goes back and knocks him out in 2 rounds.
Oh man. 2 rounds.
Both of them knocked each other out in 2 rounds. Calza knocked Monty
in 2, and then he got him in 2.
But
Wow.
of course, to go forward and sell a dream, nobody's gonna believe in you. You don't go back and straighten that out. So he went back and knocked him out.
That's not, you know, when you said 2 rounds, you made me think of something I wanted to ask you. Is it best to try to catch somebody like right when a fight starts before they get warmed up and adjust to your power? Is it best to like how Tyson used to just go out there and rush people and get them up out of there? Is that a good strategy to try to get them out before they get warmed up?
You remember what Kenny said? You gotta know when to hold on.
The great Kenny Rogers.
you gotta know when to do that kind of stuff.
Okay. Gotcha.
You know, it's everything. Sometimes you run out there and run into a brick wall. You be sitting in the corner and don't even remember how you got there. You know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell nobody to go out there and try to catch somebody cold.
Okay.
Not unless I saw something in his armament that says maybe we can get away with that.
Oh, yeah.
And other times you do it if you run into a brick wall and you sit in the corner, and like I said, you don't remember how you got there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Shout out to Willpower. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, man. Man, I could listen to you talk pugilism all day.
You know, I spent a lot of time with some really good trainers over the years. Tommy Parks.
Yeah.
Lee Black. Sam Solomon. Walter Smith. You know, Walter Smith was one of the gurus of the Kronk era. You know,
Wow.
and I so much from Walter because Walter was a wise old sage, and I'd sit down and we'd sit down for hours, and I'd pump it. I'd have Walter Smith on one side of me, and I'd have Bill Miller on the other side.
Man.
And I pumped those guys for knowledge. Tommy Parks trained Bobby Chaz.
Yeah, I remember that.
Ray Mercer, Al Cole, Reuben Carter. So Tommy Parks had been around the sport a long time. I used to pump him for information. Sam Solomon had trained Sonny Liston and Matthew Sal Muhammad. So, you know, I was in Matthew Sal Muhammad's camp. I was there.
Man.
Yes,
Man. Did you know Tim Witherspoon's trainer's name was Slim something? I can't.
Yeah. I knew Slim Robinson.
Yeah, Slim Robert. Yeah.
I knew him.
Wow.
I knew him.
Wow.
You know, and you know, I would. But Walter Smith of the Kronk Gym, and there was another guy, Floyd Logan, Bill Miller, Luther Burgess. There was a guy, Luther Burgess. I think Luther Burgess was a featherweight fighter. So Luther Burgess he was a wise old guy when it came to boxing. These people don't talk about those guys no more because there are not many guys around that can remember those guys.
Yeah.
But those guys were wise trainers. They were really good teachers, you know?
Yeah.
And I used to look for information all the time. So when I think about the things that I apply in boxing, I apply all of them. There's a page dedicated to each one of those men in my mind. When I'm approaching a fighter, or training a fighter to do something, I'm thinking of those guys and something that I got from them, something that I asked them, something particular that they told me about how to do something. And I'm saying this here, and not to mention Emmanuel Stewart.
Yeah.
And me and Emmanuel would stay on the phone and we would have these conversations, and we start at 10 o'clock at night and then we go to 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. We'd be talking boxing.
Oh, man. Man, if you had them conversations I would buy those conversations.
not one time, but many times.
Oh, man.
Me and Emmanuel, and we'd have these big shootouts on the phone. We'd be arguing on the phone, arguing about the logistics of what could be done about certain things. But Emmanuel trusted me. That's what I liked him. Trusted me. He trusted my vision.
Wow. Oh, man, I would love to hear those conversations, man. Oh.
Yeah, so I got it honestly. I pumped them for information. I pumped those guys for information.
Yeah.
And it went a long way. And it tells today. When I'm preparing for something, I prepare based on the information that I got from those guys.
Wow.
I got a lot of information from those old sages of boxing.
Did you and Emmanuel Stewart ever get to meet or work with Customato from the Catskill?
No. Us was on one end of the scope. We was on another end.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, man.
He was a good trainer.
He was a deep guy.
He might have been the best of the trainers.
Yeah.
I said because Customato took Mike Tyson. What's the Puerto Rican guy? He's like,
I know. Torres.
Yeah. What was Torres' first name?
Oh, man, Jose Torres. Yeah,
Torres.
Floyd Patterson. Did he have Floyd?
Floyd Patterson.
Yeah.
So you figure Customato is the trainer for the two youngest heavyweights in the history of boxing, and that record has not been broken to this day.
Wow. That's man.
He had Floyd Patterson was the first young heavyweight,
Wow.
and then back and did it again with Mike Tyson. And to this very day, nobody has broken that record.
I did not know that. I did not know that. Wow.
D'Amato trained the two youngest heavyweights in the history of the sport, and to this day, that record has not been broken.
Oh my gosh. That says a lot about like the thing when I used to listen to him, he understood the mindset of fighters. Like he could tell Mike Tyson, like he would be like, hey, your mind's not on your work today, you're distracted. Like he knew what a fighter was thinking. He was a real deep guy.
He was very, very swift. Very, very swift, you know.
Wow.
He first, I think it was Floyd Patterson. I think Floyd Patterson was 20 or 21, and then Mike come back at 20 or 19.
Yeah.
19.
Right.
And to this very day, nobody has broken those records.
Wow. That's incredible.
They'd have to come in there and make a heavyweight champion at 19.
Yeah.
The best record because Tyson was only 20 years old.
Yeah, knocking out grown men.
When he knocked out Trevor Burbick for undisputed, I think that was for that wasn't undisputed. But he knocked out Trevor.
Yeah, that was WBC.
Then he came back and beat Tony Tucker.
Yeah.
You know, he became the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He's 20 years old. And nobody to this day has broken that record. No one.
That says a lot about what he was teaching fighters. That says a lot about fighters from back then. I mean, when I go back and watch some of those boxing matches from the 70s and 80s, it looks like the footage is sped up because they're swinging so fast. I'm like, is this sped up? And it's actually not. It's like they just were really fast back then.
You know, my mother used to say, I kept telling her, you know, I was about 13, 14 years old. And I think it was a black woman. She was in Congress. She was some big wig in Congress, a black woman. And I told Mama, I said, Mama, it ain't gonna never be no black heavyweight champion, ain't no black president.
Yeah.
You know? And she said, you would live to see one.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. I didn't want to throw dash water on her hopes. When it one ear and out the other ear.
Yeah.
And then I said, damn, you know. And then when Obama became president, I said, wow, my mother said that I would live to see it.
Wow.
So then Mike Tyson comes along and wins the heavyweight championship at 20 years old. I said, man, I ain't gonna say never again. I'm gonna stop that shit because Mama said that I'd live to see a black heavyweight, a black president, and I never thought that I'd see a 20-year-old heavyweight champion.
Yes.
So by Obama becoming the president and Mike Tyson winning the championship at 20, I said, man, I ain't gonna never say never again.
Wow.
2 times in my life that something happened that was spectacular.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson at 20 years old.
Yeah, that's unheard of. That is unheard of.
And then Obama come back and it's not like Obama won the presidency twice. It wasn't like he squeaked past and won it. He won it outright.
Man.
He won it outright. He came out and said, look, I got this, man. Back up. I'm the man. I got it. And he came in and won it.
We need
not like he had 1,000 and somebody else had 95. No. Obama won it. He won it like I got 1,000 and Who in my backyard? Ain't nobody here. I won it. I won it. It wasn't even close.
We need you for president, Coach.
No, you don't need me for president because it'll be stuff. People be angry with me, man.
No, we need you in there, man. The dude we got in there now, I don't even think he knows what his name is. Shout out to Tony's Reviews. Thanks for tuning in, man. Yeah,
I have a big bucket of water pouring on racism and politicking, politics, lying and cheating and stuff. But
yeah, it's
in a unique position. It's in a unique position because they can stand up and say, this is what it is and this is what it ain't. But they got us against the big wigs.
Absolutely.
I think Ngannou, at least the Ngannou fight should have been a draw.
Yeah, that's what I said. At the least, that should have been a draw.
At least it should have been a draw.
Yeah.
But they did not want to mess up that money with Usyk versus Fury. They did not want to.
Nah, that's what I always tell people. It's not money. It's people always say money's the root of all evil. It's not that. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. These people love money and they're greedy, and they'll do anything to get it. They'll fix fights and do all kind of shenanigans.
Dubois landed a good punch, as far as I'm concerned, against Alexander Usyk.
Yeah, that's what I said. That was a legit punch.
I didn't take the punch, so I don't know whether Usyk was milking the public.
Yeah.
Or what. I don't know, but it looked like there was a legit punch to me.
Yeah.
In fact, it's a punch that Ward threw against Kovalev, and that was acceptable.
Yeah.
So, then Usyk said, I'm ready to go. I said, no, take another minute.
Yeah, what's that about, man?
He said, look, take 5 minutes.
Yeah, you know what? That was the same referee that was the ref in Joshua Usyk too, when I think Joshua hit Usyk with a legit body blow and he warned Joshua not to hit low. So that dude is kind of suspect. Oh, shout out to Andrew Tucker World. Thanks for watching, man. Yeah, that's the bro right there. But yeah, I think Dubois should have been champion, but I thought Usyk was doing kind of an acting job, but we didn't feel the blow, but it looked kind of like he was doing a little bit of his Oscar-winning performance right there.
And, I'm a teacher, and I'm a cultivate this thing, I thought that Dubois got angry. He was emotional because he wasn't tired. No, he was in good shape. All right?
Yeah.
I was in the camp and Don Charles worked him. He was in good shape. And I mean, mentally and physically, he was in good shape. And Don Charles was talking to him in the corner, and he was in good shape. He wasn't gasping for air. He wasn't disorientated.
Nah.
He just looked emotional. He looked like he got angry. I'm going to cheat me out of I won this here. I knocked him out. He just got upset. And he's a young guy. Dubois was only 25, now he's 26. But, he couldn't control his anger, his emotion.
Yeah.
And basically, what I thought was, I said, man, he just said, man, I ain't doing this. Man, I'm out here fighting and people going to take the fight away from me. So I think he got a little emotional and couldn't contain it. And he just stopped fighting.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That was my opinion. All right? That was my and the powers that be didn't like it. And so that's it, But that was my opinion.
Yeah. That was mine too, man. Me and you see a lot of these things the same way. I felt I couldn't agree more. Shout out to Willpower wanted to know who you would pick for AJ and Ngannou. He said AJ, what'd you say, AJ in around 7?
Yes, inside of 7 rounds, I got AJ.
Yeah, that's about what I got it. And Andrew Tucker said, I couldn't miss it, big bro. Hey, shout out to you, man. We're going to have to jump on here at the same time again. It's always good conversation with Andrew and Coach James, and I'm just really enjoying this, man. You got like I think I asked you this before, but you ever think about writing a book?
Yeah. I've thought about it over and over and over and over. I've had no number of people ask me to do a book, but I need help. I need help. I'm a boxer fan. What I know about writing a book?
Yeah, man. I'm sure Lennox Lewis could hook you up. He put out I think 2 books. I got one of them. He probably could hook you up with somebody. You could do these audio books now, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where you just have somebody narrate it, or you can do it. Because I've listened to tons of books on Audible. You just listen to it, or I heard Will Smith's book on there. Rosie Perez, who's a big boxing fan. So yeah, you can do it Audible or write it out like the old school. But I would buy it. I would definitely love to hear all the stories and stuff like that.
I had one brother one time, he just disappeared. I don't know what happened. I'm talking to him. He disappeared. I just didn't.
Oh wow.
Over a year, it just disappeared.
Oh, he's gonna help you with the book?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It just disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. I hope he's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I hate trying to find people online that have like common names because they're almost impossible to find. Like someone with a name like James Brown or something. You're like, well, I'll never find him. It's like a million James Browns.
Yeah.
But are there any fights you want to see after these big fights that are coming up? Any fights you're just besides Dubois and AJ? Are there any fights you're like, man, we need this fight? Oh wait, I wanted to ask you this: what do you think about Shakur Stevenson saying he retired today?
I don't put much stock in that.
I don't either. I think he's just mad at something. He seems like he's irritated with the sport.
Really.
Yeah.
He's a young. What he got? I mean, he's irritated with the sport. At the age he's at now, he's irritated.
Yeah.
I've been in the sport for 60 years.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball game, huh?
Yeah, I mean, come on. I like to see Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis.
Yeah.
Or Devin Haney and Tank.
I don't know. I don't know how Keith Thurman worked. You know, Keith Thurman's got a fight coming up on pay-per-view against Tim Tszyu. I'm like, Keith Thurman? That dude hasn't fought in like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't paying for no Keith Thurman. They better pay me to watch that. I ain't watching no Keith Thurman. This dude I see why his nickname is One Time. This dude fights like once every 2 to 3 years. And they'll probably charge $60 for it on pay-per-view. I'm like, nah, not happening.
No, I don't do that.
No.
No, I don't pay pay-per-view.
Nah.
I don't like it.
Nah. Oh, Andrew Tucker said he just joined, so he wanted to know who you got for Zhang and Parker.
It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to call for that one. I think Zhang, but I wouldn't be shocked if Parker won.
Styles make fights. Right? That's what I'm saying. Styles makes fights. That's why I say it's a 50-50 fight. Because of the unknown. Like I said, one fight, they give a boxer an injection to make him better or worse.
Yeah.
And seeing what I saw with Parker versus Deontay Wilder, he answered a lot of questions that night.
Yeah, he did. I don't even think Parker broke a sweat. I don't think he hardly got touched that whole fight.
I told you he won every round.
Yeah. And I think we talked about this last time you were on the show. You were talking about Deontay seemed to weigh in with a lot of stuff in his pockets, like keys and cell phones. Because I was like, he don't even look like he's 200 pounds. His legs look extra thin. I know they've always been thin, but I'm like, he just.
He is 213 pounds. He had keys, he had a wallet, he had a phone, earbuds and all that stuff. So you take
the earbud.
He might have been 209.
Wow. Wow.
He's like a heavyweight from the 1970s.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
The boxing heavyweight from the 1970s. And if he get hit by a guy like Anthony Johnson wearing 210, he's gonna get knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just too light for today's heavyweights. That's just too, like, I know Deontay can punch, but I mean, you gotta have something there so when you get hit, you can take a punch yourself.
Yeah. Exactly my point.
Yeah.
You come in at 210 and you get hit by a guy, Anthony Johnson, who's coming in 245, 250,
Yeah.
250. Hits you on your chin or your temple, you're gonna have problems.
Yeah. Definitely.
You act as a shock absorber.
Exactly.
You gotta have that weight to help you and do those punches.
I keep saying the same thing. You got to have something to absorb the blows.
So now, Deontay, in my opinion, painted himself into a corner where he's got to win his next 3-4 fights to restore people's confidence in him being the Terminator with that right hand.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm a just say it, and I've said it before. Tim Witherspoon said it, and Malik Scott and them got mad. But we keep saying, how are you going to get a guy to train you that you beat? We don't understand that. Like, if I beat you, I'm not going to get you to kind of try to teach me how to fight. If anything, I'm going to teach you how to fight. I never understood that logic. Like, I think he needs to get Malik up out of there. I think Malik is a yes man, and I don't see any improvement whatsoever in Deontay Wilder. I see no improvement.
I didn't agree with the way Deontay fought that fight. I didn't agree with him.
Not at all. He's fighting like Malik fights.
I think that was when he spent all of that energy moving around that ring like that did.
Yeah.
I kept saying, what is he doing?
Yeah, it's like he was just waiting to throw that right and he never threw it.
No, because Parker was aware of the right hand too. That's why Parker kept aligning himself where he couldn't really throw the right hand.
Exactly. I think that was his worst performance I've ever seen him in. He looked like he didn't even, I don't know, he's smoking ayahuasca now. He's doing like music. I don't think his head's into the sport anymore. It's like he lost his hunger to box now.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't the guy Deontay Wilder that I was used to seeing. You know what happened in the fight. I wasn't there. Him and Malik Scott worked out something their own right, and the plan didn't work. You know,
not at all.
I thought he lost every round himself.
I do too. I didn't give him a round. I knew once he said he was smoking, I was like, he's done. Right when he said that, even Mike Tyson, who smokes, he's like, yeah. He even said Wilder shouldn't be smoking right now.
Wilder said he was smoking.
What is that?
He You said Wilder said he was smoking?
Yeah, he said he smokes something called ayahuasca when he's not boxing, and that's like a hallucinogenic. So even Mike Tyson's like he needs to chill with that at least till he's done boxing. But right when I heard Wilder said he's smoking, I'm like, okay, he's he might be finished. That's a lack of discipline.
He said he was smoking out the ayahuasca.
Yeah, it's something called ayahuasca, like something to make you like mushrooms almost, some hallucinogenic. Like, man, you need to either retire or train, one of the two. Hey,
I didn't know he was smoking ayahuasca.
Andrew Tucker said Wilder was never that good fighting on the inside. Parker neutralized the game plan. Yeah. Yeah, Wilder needs that range.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And he was chopping and fanning with the right hand.
Yeah.
Because Parker was so close to him, he really couldn't extend the right hand. He couldn't get the meat on.
That's what I always say. You got to crowd his space. If you stay on the outside, he's going to knock you out. You got to crowd his space. Yep. Willpower said Wilder is getting old, tired of getting hit in the ear. I think he's getting done with boxing. I don't think it's so much about Wilder's age. I just think he's lost interest. And once you lose interest, you can get hurt.
Yeah. No, I said a moment ago that the young man has painted himself into a corner. Now he must win.
Wow.
To show people's faith and confidence in what he's capable of doing, he must win at least the next 2-3 fights. And he's got to win in devastating fashion.
Yeah. Who do you think would be a good match for him next?
I wish he would take Bashir.
Have they sparred?
No.
No? Yeah, I would have to go with Vlad on that one. I think Vlad would have his number.
I sure like to try it.
Like, all you got to do is crowd that dude's space, and he can't hit you with a right hand. It's going to be he don't know what to do because ain't nobody scared of his hooks. All he has is pretty much an overhand right. His uppercut isn't that bad, but it's not devastating like his right.
I would like to put Bashir in the fight with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, maybe that can be his opponent on the Knockout Chaos on March 8th.
Yeah, I would love to get into that fight.
Wow.
With Bashir in the fight with Deontay Wilder. That would be a great coming out song for Bashir.
Yeah. Especially if he stops Deontay or knocks him down. Yeah.
It would be a risky fight, but a risk worth taking,
Yeah.
Because of the stature that Deontay Wilder has in the sport. So I would like to put Bashir in there with him.
Absolutely. I would give the edge to Vlad Tsarenko based off his height and based off the fact that he's a disciplined guy. Usually the guy that's disciplined outside of the ring wins the fight. That's why I picked Crawford against Spence. I said Crawford lives like a fighter, and he's going to win the fight, and that's just what he did.
Well, I just think that Deontay is in a position now that he has to win.
Yeah,
he has
to. Yeah.
If he comes out the next fight and struggles, and even if he wins the fight, people are just going to not believe in him no more.
Yeah, they're going to write him off.
He'll write him off.
Yeah.
And why not? Because, he's not showing that I belong.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of mad at him for even holding up his hand at the end of the Parker fight before they announced the winner. I'm like, you couldn't possibly think you won that fight. He had the nerve to hold up his hand like, man, if you don't sit down.
Yeah. He didn't think that. You know, he just did that impulsively.
Yeah, impulsively, yeah. Oh man. Anything else you want to say to the public and let them know?
Yeah. I want to live. I'm 72 now, and I want to live 50 more years.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
50 more. Where I'm tying my own shoes and walking up and down stairs.
Yeah.
And training boxers. I want to live like that.
Well, when you're training fighters, you're actually working out with them, right?
I have to, otherwise I'll fall out. You know.
Yeah. So that helps to keep you youthful.
Want to train boxers. I'm interested in the sport. I think that I have contributions to make. And I said, what better way to make the contribution than to train the boxers, to show my contribution through the boxers, through the young men and young women that's coming. I can teach, and I want to teach them. You know, if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. You got to be taught to do it right.
Yeah. Wow. Even my buddy Andrew Tucker said he picks Vlad to beat Deontay Wilder. He said Vlad got those Mike Tyson legs.
Yeah, Vlad is a good student. He's a very good student. And he has the desire, the willpower. You know?
Yeah.
I told you I had him in there with Michael Hunter, Joe Joyce, Vladimir Klitschko, Alexander Usyk, Bermain Stavern.
Wow.
Alexander Povetkin.
Man.
Daniel Dubois. He's been in there with the who's who of the heavyweight division. I know he can hold his own.
Yeah, that's quite a list.
Yeah, and they're good fighters.
Yeah.
They're good.
That's the best of the best. Yeah,
you not only appease and accuse the guys that put you to sleep in sparring.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I've seen guys get knocked out in sparring before. It wasn't a pretty sight.
No, it's not a pretty sight. I've been in there too.
Wow.
Many times guys get knocked out in sparring because they take things too lightly. I said, look, this is sparring. You know, you can get hurt in the sparring too.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't particularly like guys in a sparring situation to try to prove anything. So, and my preference is when I got big guys like that sparring, I like for them guys that put on 20-ounce gloves, 22-ounce gloves.
Oh, yeah.
I invited Vladimir, you know, in his training camps to wear 20s and 22-ounce gloves. That way you guys can punch all you want because most likely you're not going to get really hurt.
Yeah.
But 18-ounce gloves, I said, hey, man, you asking to get hurt. You 6'7" and 250 pounds. You got some 18s, crack somebody upside the head and put them to sleep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't want guys to get injured doing sparring. I want them to spar the way you're supposed to. But sparring is about learning, about correcting, getting prepared for the test.
Yeah.
You know? Not about seeing who's the roughest, who the toughest is, you know?
I totally agree with that. A
lot of these guys, and that sparring is too rough.
Yeah.
To spar to a fight. I always see these analogies where Tank and Devin is boxing, and you know Tank got the best of it, Devin got the best of it. I don't want no contest in the gym. I want you to learn in the gym. I want you to box and get your steps right. You know, the different formats to get it right inside the ring. Not so much who got the best punches in, and this. You can't learn like that to me.
Yeah.
Because you're interested in trying to compete and impress the outsiders, you know?
Right. There was a scene like that in Rocky Five where Tommy Morrison or Tommy Gunn was trying to impress Rocky, so he's knocking the guy out, and Rocky's like, "Hey, what you trying to do?" Oh, shout out to Yoshi Adams. Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, some guys go in there and sparring and try to prove a point and make a name for themselves.
Yeah, some guys some guys are mean as far.
Yeah.
Some guys are mean as far. They're gonna try to take you out regardless.
Yeah.
I remember times where I come in and say, "Could you go lighter? Could you just do the work?"
Right.
Yeah. All right, just come on. And they go back out and do the same thing. Like
it's just so wow.
Listening to you, I want to do what I'm going to do. So I don't like it.
Did you just saying his name made me think? Did you ever work with the late Tommy Morrison?
No.
You didn't get a chance to work with him?
You know what? My guy was the first guy to fight Tommy Morrison. Morrison knocked him out in the second round.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my guy cut Morrison bad in the fight. I remember Morrison was cut under the left eye.
Wow.
And the referee was taking a look at it, and I told the guy, I went around the ring and told the guy, I said, "Look, just stay back and box him, and they're going to stop this fight."
Yeah.
And my guy said, "No, I can stop him." Another guy not listening. I said, No. Listen, just use your jab and try to box him, and they'll stop the fight. Even though the cut was under the left eye, it was a bad cut. And it was going to keep bleeding. All you got to do is just keep peppering him with the jab, and we can get out of here with a stoppage.
Yeah.
The bad cut. And he went out there trying to, get the knockout, do all this here stuff. Instead of doing what I told him to do it, went out there and got hit with the left hook, and it was over.
Oh, yeah. And that Morrison had a left hook, didn't he?
It was over,
Do you know his two sons fight? He has two sons that are heavyweights.
Yeah, I heard about them, but they ain't going nowhere though.
Yeah, they're not gifted like their dad. One's name, I think, Lipe Morrison. I forget the other, but I think one of them beat Hasim Rockman's son though. One of them stopped Hasim Rockman Jr.
One of them is named Trey Morrison.
Yeah, Trey Morrison, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just not. They don't quite have the it factor like their dad had it, unfortunately.
Yeah, you will. It's hard to repeat. God giveth and God taketh away.
Man.
God giveth and God taketh away.
Wow.
That's the whole thing. God giveth and God taketh away. I haven't heard anything about either one of the Morrisons.
Yeah.
At least in the last 2 years. So
yeah, I haven't either. I was wondering the other day if they're still fighting.
Yeah, I mean, you go online and find out, but you haven't heard anything about it. I mean, they're not fighting because if they are fighting, they're not making waves.
Nah. Yeah, because if they were, they'd be using that Morrison name to get them some fights. I mean, if your dad is Tommy Morrison and you're knocking people out, it shouldn't be hard to, get a career going. But
right.
I guess unless there's anything else you got to say, I guess we'll call it a night until next time, man. Is there any last words you'd like to say?
I'm good. Like I said, I want to train fighters until I'm gone. This is my life.
Wow.
This is my life, and this is what I want to do. I want to train boxers because I think this is my calling.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in training boxers. I want to teach. Teaching comes before the training. You can't train unless you're taught. That's it.
Man, you guys heard it here.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Thanks. Hey, Coach James, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man. We'll have to do it again real soon. Maybe we'll get Vlad on.
Yeah, we can get Vlad on. You can talk to Vlad directly. You know.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we'll all chop it up.
I'll send you his number. You can call him directly. You don't have to have me on here. You can go.
Okay, sounds good.
Vlad speak English now so good that sometimes he talk too much.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you about his English. So, okay, I got you.
Yeah, he speak English good. He speak English pretty good.
Okay, yeah, I would love it. Yeah.
We've been together nearly 6 years, so he understands English. He talk English so good now. He talk too much.
No, he's getting ready to market himself, huh?
Yeah, he's a good guy, though.
Wow, yeah. Make sure you send me that number. I'd love to have him on.
Will do.
Okay. Later. All right. Thanks a lot, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right.
Good night, all.
Okay, Coach James is out, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Andrew Tucker World, Tony's Reviews, Yoshi Adams. Let me scroll down and see who else was on here. Willpower Goals. Warren Jackson. Mr. Maverick was one of the first that tuned in. Sanjaya, the homie, a.k.a. Topi. 619 Lincoln High. Thanks for tuning in. J. Roos Theory, LSR Forever. Be fearless. And like I said, thanks for watching. Yay.